autumn and winter plan always predicted that cases would rise around about now, and we're certainly seeing that in the numbers. We're seeing high levels of infection, but they're not outside the parameters of what was predicted or what we thought we'd see in the autumn and winter plan. But it's very important that people do follow the guidance on general behaviour, on being cautious, on wearing masks in confined places where you're meeting people you don't normally meet. Wear a mask, wash hands, ventilation, all that kind of thing. But also get your booster jab, and that's the key message that we want to get across. That's why we've timed it for now, because there is some evidence, obviously, that the vaccine starts to wane, and you get really very, very good protection with the booster. I mean, a new study says about 95% protection. So we're seeing the numbers come up. Yesterday, I think we did 250,000 across the country. We want to see them ramped up even further. And thanks to everybody for coming forward, but we need to see a lot more.
On masks and making sure that we wear them indoors in the right settings, should MPs be leading by example? Will you be leading by example by wearing one in Parliament, for example? And are you going to have a word with Jacob Rees-Mogg, who said that Tory MPs don't need to do that because they all know each other?
I think there are lots of steps that we need to take to continue to follow the guidance, so commonsensical things, washing your hands, wearing a mask in confined spaces where you don't normally meet other people. I think where you're meeting people that you don't normally meet, I should say. That's sensible. But the key message for today is for all people over 50s, think about getting your booster jab. When you get the call, get the jab.
Your advisors on the SAGE committee say boosters, absolutely, but to really get case numbers down, the big ticket measure is advising people to work from home. Are you ignoring their advice on that?
We keep all measures under constant review. We'll do whatever we have to do to protect the public, but the numbers that we're seeing at the moment are fully in line with what we expected in the autumn and winter plan. What we want people to do is to come forward and get their jabs. We also want young people, we want kids at school to be getting their jabs with complete confidence, and there'll be booking systems opening from tomorrow in addition to the vaccination programme in school. So the message is that the boosters are fantastic. I mean, the levels of protection are really very high, but it's also very, very important that you get one, because the double vaccination provides a lot of protection against serious illness and death, but it doesn't protect you against catching the disease, and it doesn't protect you against passing it on. So now is the time to get your booster.
Is there a strong case, do you think, for reducing the time between the second jab and booster from 6 months to 5? I don't believe you're eligible to have your booster yet. You could be soon if it was only 5 months.
I know. So look, so that's a very good question, and it's the important question. I think a lot of people are looking at that issue, and I heard with great interest what Anthony Harnden of the JCVI had to say, of the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation, had to say this morning about that. I think that people should be coming forward with the same spirit of determination to get their boosters as we saw earlier on this year. It's a very good thing to do. It gets you a huge amount of protection, and we always expected that we would see numbers rise right about now. That is happening, and you've also got to take into account the waning effectiveness of the first 2 jabs. So get your boosters now.
Prime Minister, is a full lockdown this winter with stay-at-home advice, shops closing, is that out of the question?
I've got to tell you at the moment that we see absolutely nothing to indicate that's on the cards at all.
If I may just ask you,
Yes.
Her Majesty the Queen has just left hospital. Do you have a message for her, having just left hospital? Would you support her in not taking on too much?
Well, I think everybody sends her Majesty, we send her our very, very best wishes. Everybody does, and certainly we have from the government. But I'm given to understand that actually Her Majesty is, characteristically back at her desk at Windsor as we speak. So, but we send her every possible good wish.